Hi, everyone. What a great night for some hoops. With a little more on...
Let me fix all my stuff here for this cup game. We want to play through the star always. No threes. Tight. Deny ball. Go under. Can you stand in front? No. Anytime you stand in front, you want to stand in front. Double. Ice. Pick ice. Always. Right there. You can stand in front of them. And then you want to fix the lineups. Point guard. Shooting guard. Small forward. Power. Center. Kevin Durant. Dillingham. Do Dillingham again. Chris Middleton. Pulaski. You want Bobo oil. Just like that, we're ready. Alright, thanks for watching. We will start.
The line. It's the NBA Cup, and it's in full swing. Alongside Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce on the sidelines. And let's see what the Minnesota Timberwolves have coming up. On Friday, they'll be playing against Clint Capella and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on Monday, they'll kick off a homestand, starting with the Brooklyn Nets.
Looking at this stretch, they should have little issues beating most of their opponents. They just need to keep the intensity up and avoid playing down to their competition.
Now the starting group for the Sacramento Kings. Murray out there with Malik Monk. Then there's Peyton Pritchard. Then there's Achua. And it's Van Vliet in at point guard. And for Minnesota, Conley and Ant are the one of the two. Then there's Kevin Durant, then there's DeAndre Jordan, and it's Mutombo in at power forward. You know, on paper, this looks like a lopsided matchup, but anything can happen in the NBA, Grant.
That is the truth. I mean, that's why they play the games. One guy gets hot, a team gets cold. That's all it takes to swing the entire outcome of a game.
Great positioning on the putback.
I always love the hard work on the glass. Just great activity.
And here's Van Vliet. He'll bring it up for the Kings. Last game matched up with the Thunder. Tough loss there.
Defensively, they weren't up to the task. Didn't play as A cohesive unit, and it really hurt them.
You cannot allow your opponent to shoot that high a percentage. That is going to get you beat night after night.
Edwards can't hit. Murray scanning the floor. Oh! And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Murray can really fly, going up high and getting stylish with it.
Just an awesome. Display of athleticism on our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. Conley passes to Edwards. Gets the 3 to fall.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Durant against Monk. Outside Murray. Goes up at the elbow. And again, it's Sacramento converting.
3 out of 3. Perfect start. Let's see how long they can ride this wave.
Conley with the ball. Checked by Murray. Pass to Mutombo. Fires the 3. They get the rebound. It's good on the putback.
Yeah, you call that hitting the glass with a purpose. You love to watch Kevin Durant use his size and length to create opportunity.
First quarter, just over a minute and a half in. Right side of Chua. That one's wide left. Minnesota's gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. And the shot goes down. Edwards got his second basket of the night.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Here's Pritchard. He's been an offensive weapon for them, scoring around 17.5 points a game.
Well, such an explosive athlete. Achua off his feet in a hurry.
We'll now go to Allie LaForce, who spoke with Rick Carlisle. Allie.
Keegan Murray came up during our conversation, and he remarked, Murray is just a classic wing. He has length, he can shoot it, he defends well. I really like his game, and I told our team to pay extra attention to him on both ends. High praise for Murray.
Appreciate the report, Allie. You know, Grant and Van Vliet, they've got a guy who's been through everything in this league.
Yeah, B.A. Van Vliet's seen it all. He's won a championship. He's been in the All-Star game. He's been on a last-place team. But no wonder nothing seems to faze him.
Now here's Murray. He's coming off a 25-point game against Oklahoma City.
Well, you also have to credit the way he controlled the pace of the game and was able to create for his teammates.
Right side Edwards. And there it is for him. Edwards has got 7.
Well, we know this about Anthony Edwards. This guy, one of the stronger guards in this game. That's a tough finish.
Here's Pritchard. Off target with the 3. Minnesota in the lead. It's Edwards with a drive. And Edwards slams it in.
How about Anthony Edwards? The bounce. Go ahead, Ant.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. Here's Pritchard. No good on the triple. And so Conley will bring it up for Minnesota. Boy, this team is on a heater right now. 16 wins in a row, and they've shown no signs of slowing down.
What an absolute joy to watch. This team is playing a beautiful brand of basketball right now. Everything about it. The athleticism, the basketball skill, the intelligence, the heart, the toughness, the commitment. These guys have been extraordinary.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. Minnesota with some changes. Bull comes in for Jordan, and Dillingham subbed in for Mike Conley. Carter, he's checked in for the Kings. And it's Rick Carlisle calling timeout here. I think right now he must be looking at some adjustments. He's really been spectacular lately. Here's your Western Conference Player of the Week, Anthony Edwards.
What's really impressed me is his ability to create for others on the offensive end. He's got a sharp mind for the game, and he's put it to use helping his teammates find good shots.
Kings trail by 7. Inside, here's Murray. The ball's knocked loose. Outside Monk to end the run. Hits the trifecta.
I love how they've attacked the boards here in the first quarter.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 from deep. Here's Dillingham. Up and in on the layup.
When they get their opportunity to punch it inside, they don't hesitate.
The Kings have gotten 5. Of 11 shots to go. Outside Murray. Here's Pritchard, guarded by Edwards. Back to Murray. The 3 is up. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds to Sacramento. And here are some of the best scorers in the league so far. The 4th spot held by Kevin Durant.
He's proven to be an essential part of their offensive efforts, always playing hard on that end and ensuring they come up with points.
Bufkin, he's checked in for Sacramento. Here's Pritchard. No points yet. Off the inbound, no good.
Good shot, gone bad. Gotta finish there.
Here's Dillingham. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
This run has been fueled by their matador defense.
Kings trail by 8. Here's Bufkin. Coming off a 16-point game against Oklahoma City. Jumps up. And Durant with the big finish.
They're not wasting any time putting their stamp on this game. What a start.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Here's Pritchard. Fires from deep. It's rebounded by Anthony Edwards.
I think he's gone completely dry. Nothing is hitting.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
They've been very effective so far. A balanced attack at its best.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string. What a terrific play by just a tremendous all-around player. This guy makes it look easy.
Durant against Carter. Durant's shot is off.
Already +5 in terms of rebound margin.
Pass to Bufkin. 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Carter. And they get it back. Jacks up a three. Minnesota with a rebound. This is the first they're seeing of Sacramento.
They swept the season series, which is very much in line with how these teams finished in the standings.
Well, they're more talented, more accomplished at this point, but you can't rely on that and start taking plays off. You could get surprised.
Well, Doris, you look back over the history of the NBA, hard to find a better scorer than KD.
Oh, BA, he is unequivocally on the short list of the greatest scorers the league has ever seen. You think about guys, when you think about KD, guys that can create their own shot and hit from anywhere on the floor. You couple that with the size and the release point and the skill with the ball. Kevin Durant is a problem, folks.
Edwards against Monk. There's the three. He buries it from three. Monk's got 6 points.
Wow, you don't see him left alone very often, and of course, he makes good use of it.
Here's Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
They've controlled the paint so far. That's been the difference.
I know it's early, but you have got to like the dominance down low. Right now, they are playing bully basketball.
And it's the Kings with the ball. Following the score by Minnesota. Carter, the pass to Monk. Holmes, a screen on Edwards. Monk for three. Doesn't go in. 2 for 4 in this game. Here's Dillingham. Williams defending. Oh, Williams with the block.
You see how Williams is such a gritty defender. Send it back, Grant.
Monk with a steal. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. The 17-footer. And he knocks the jumper down. Give him 8 points now.
Yeah, this period, they're letting him go to work, and it's paying off.
Here's Dillingham. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. And it's blocked by Edwards. And it's Rick Carlisle. Calling timeout here. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page. And here's Thomas from the arc. And that's not gonna go. Misses at the buzzer. And so it's Minnesota ending the quarter up 10. And it's all due to their ability to own the paint. They've been dominant down low. We'll be right back with you shortly. Great to have you with us. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And when you consider how Minnesota is doing, guys, your thoughts?
Well, clearly they played well in the first period because of their selfless attitude.
I'll tell you, that willingness to make the extra pass, that is what creates good looks. It also forces the defense to scramble.
Grant, we're starting to see more players throwing alley-oops to themselves off the backboard. Did you ever do that?
In practice, maybe, but although I had some leaping ability early on, I never had the audacity to do it in a real game.
On the court for the Kings, second quarter underway. They've got Malik Monk, and it's Williams in at the center position. Here's Thomas. Murasan pulls it in. Kings trail by 10. Pass to Carter. Down low. Now Williams. Back to Monk. No good with a layup. Here's Pokashevsky. The rebound by Carter.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Here's Murasan. he dunks it down.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
Here's Thomas. The Kings getting their last shot to go. Pokashevsky in the post. Monk covers. They get it back. That one falls. He's now 1 for 3.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Kings trail by 10. Carter, the pass to Williams. No good. Nice D from Pokashevsky. And so it's Conley who brings up the ball for the T-Wolves. Takes a 3. Rebound by Sacramento. Here's Carter. Rebound by Middleton. Minnesota leading by 10. And here's Thomas. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Thomas has got his first 2 points of the night.
Their interior D continues to look shaky. Not a good matchup for them right now.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score. You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
And it goes. As the official calls the foul, count it, and he'll shoot one more at the line. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Ever since this game started, they've been attacking on the inside, looking for ways to bust up the defense and get high percentage looks.
And the other thing that's working for them tonight, getting out into the open floor. A lot of the damage coming in transition.
Free throw good. Thomas. Kings trail by 15. And we've got a timeout call by Ime Udoka. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over.
There's just a lot of wide open lanes to the rim here. That'll drive your coach nuts.
Well, poor rotations, poor communication. There's a lot to figure out right now.
Point guards are making a big impact on defense as we take a look at the steals leaders so far this season. 5th, Anthony Edwards.
Swiping the ball involves so much. It's reading passing lanes, understanding the offense in general, and taking high percentage risk. They do all of that.
You know, I think that's the mentality they have when it comes to defending, aggressive. They don't let up for 1 single second at that end of the floor, and they're always looking to cause you discomfort.
Van Vliet misses.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
And Doris, when you think about Kevin Durant, certainly a prolific scorer, but that's not the whole story.
What I love the most, I think, BA, about Kevin Durant is how much he loves playing the game with basketball. His availability is never in question as long as there is some measure of health. the work he puts in consistently. Anyone who's ever seen his routine, teammates, coaches, front office staff, they are in awe of the commitment to his craft.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
BA, Fred VanVleet said, I've been a leader on pretty much every team that I've ever played for. I'm a leader in life. It's just something you either have or you don't. Something you gotta work at. Some guys will gravitate towards it and some won't. Brian, is it that simple?
Well, I think most of his teammates value what he has to say, for sure.
Well, you love the unselfishness of Fred VanVleet. This guy is so good recognizing when his teammates are open.
Conley against VanVleet. Conley passes to Jordan, and you see player training methods, Grant, a lot more than just running and getting shots up.
And you know, BA, what interests me, players not just training their bodies better than ever, but also their minds. They're working on hand-eye coordination drills and just all kinds of stuff to enhance their reflexes.
Now here's Edwards. What a tremendous game he played against San Antonio.
Miscue there. Hadn't had many of those so far, which is a big reason they're ahead.
And now the T-Wolves on the break. And Edwards slams it in.
Boy, with the kind of motor Edwards plays with, doesn't give the defense much of a chance to catch him in transition. Nicely done, Anthony.
And almost 4 minutes gone in the second quarter of play. They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
Outside Monk. To the inside. And there's Holmes on the assist by Monk. Holmes has gotten his first bucket of the night.
Well, that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
Here's Edwards. Mutombo, the pass to Jordan. Here's Mutombo. Second chance shot. Rebound by VanVleet. Pass to Mirasan. Lets it fly. It's rebounded by Minnesota. Mutombo has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Durant, the pass to Jordan, and the bucket is good.
When you think that this guy was so raw and so skinny coming into the league, now DeAndre Jordan brushing off these challenges with ease.
Now here's VanVleet, still without a bucket. Holmes passes to VanVleet. Pass to Mirasan, lets it fly. Mutombo with the rebound. Mutombo has got rebound number 8 now. Conley looking for an opening. It's Edwards on the wing. Fires for 3. Here's Mutombo. Back to Jordan. Outside Durant. From downtown. They get it again. Oh, he goes up high for the two-handed slam.
Oh my. What a display of effort.
That's his bread and butter, right? Chasing down the boards.
What about the decisive finish? Great timing, tremendous force. Well, a tough first quarter for this guy. You like to see the shot go in. Nicely done.
Conley up top, guarded by VanVleet. Outside Durant. From beyond the arc, and then some. Durant. Got 9.
Well, the advantage they have right now is largely based on his play. What an outstanding night.
Here's Mirasan, guarded by Durant. Here's Holmes. That shot is off. Some solid defense from Jordan. Durant, pass to Mutombo. Powered down after the assist, led him to the lane.
I'll tell you this, Kevin Durant is an underrated passer, and he has really shown a new level where that's concerned.
Fires at the elbow, and the basket by Van Vliet. Van Vliet's got his first 2 points.
With the utmost belief in his game, he's able to beat opponents in a number of ways.
And it's Rick Carlisle calling timeout here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. And the Timberwolves going with a whole new group out there. And Sacramento making a change. Here.
Substitution on court.
And Minnesota has possession. Coming into this, having notched a win against San Antonio in their last game.
And think about this, that game was really a coin toss. They were fortunate to have survived and picked up the win.
Well, perhaps just knowing that they can pull out a close game, the next time they're in that challenge, they can go in with a ton of confidence.
Here's Murray. Van Vliet up top. Back to Murray. Good. And Van Vliet gets the assist. He has 6.
I like Murray's shot selection, especially when he's this close to the rim.
Here's Dillingham. Achua with the rebound. Kings trail by 19. Pass to Murray. And out of bounds, Minnesota will have it. Moment now to see the story for Keegan Murray.
And for an idea of where his offense is right now, take a look at his true shooting percentage decreasing over the last 5 games. He desperately needs to find his stroke tonight.
And here's Dillingham from the arc. Achua with the rebound. Achua's got his 4th rebound in this one.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And it's the Kings with the ball.
You know, anticipation is a huge part of defense, and he played it perfectly right there.
Dillingham, no good. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Pritchard. A quick shot there. It's off target. The Timberwolves lead by 19. And that one is stuffed right through.
It's like he's doing pull-ups. On the rim.
Looked like a schoolyard playground right there. Drives to the hoop. Ooh, a clear foul there. On the missed shot, so he'll get a pair at the line. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
2 shots. Pritchard.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. And he's good on the second. Here's Dillingham. Misses in close.
Well, he did everything right till he got to the rim. He needs to finish that.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves ending the quarter with a... point edge. They're communicating well and stringing together stops. Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
I'm alongside Coach Rick Carlisle. Defensively, you are slowing them down. What can you say about the effort you're seeing so far?
You know, this team is a deceptive team despite their record. They got a lot of weapons, and they've been a tough matchup for us, so we've got to keep grinding away.
The grind continues. Thanks, Coach.
All right, good stuff, Allie. And we'll get back to the action at the start of the third quarter.
Hello, everybody. We're here to break it all down, and through the first half of play, it's a very commanding lead for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Well, they were the tougher team in that half, and it showed up in a number of ways. Just look at the rebounding numbers, Ernie.
Yeah, that differential really sticks out. It's one of the ways they overwhelm you. All right, guys, time to see what the fans are saying on social media. Let's see, Ultra fan Latoya wants to know, could Ernie currently score on either Shaq or Kenny? Wow.
Well, I've really never seen you ball lately, Ernie, or even
at all. Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to head back over to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. And you know, Anthony Edwards has been really making it happen, guys.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job of creating room to operate for him. And then, of course, executing.
One of the things every player is after is efficiency at the offensive end. And boy, this young guy has done just that.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. They've got Alexei Pokashevsky. He's out there with Bol, and it's Thomas in at the shooting guard position. That's the group for Rick Carlisle getting going here in the second half. Dillingham, no good.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
Here's Pritchard. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead.
Blocked. Is staying active and keeping his hands moving. Murray anticipated the shot and sent it away.
Here's Thomas for three.
Stumbling to start the second half. 3 straight misses.
And stolen by Bol. And it's good for 2. Bol's got his first points of the game.
Well, their first basket in 4 tries. Can that trigger a little bit of good shooting here? We'll find out. How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
And you know, you look at...
Oh, look out below!
Now, I know he makes it look easy, but it takes incredible physical tools to pull that off.
Once again, an explosive highlight on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Here's Pritchard. Oh, swiped away. Stolen. Van Vliet outside. Achua passes to Van Vliet. Played it in with a nice touch off the window.
Boy, at his size, Fred Van Vliet has to be so crafty on the interior. Defense has nothing for him there.
Back to Bol. Shoots over Monk. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. Making a change here. Joe's checked in. You know, in today's day and age of basketball, big men who can shoot it from outside are so valuable. Here are some of the best outside shooters from that position this season. And you look at Bol, just an outstanding shooter. He's currently 5th in the league in 3-point percentage.
And we all love to talk about floor spacing. Well, this group of bigs provide exactly that. Which is what makes them so special.
You know, and that causes all sorts of matchup problems for an opponent. Just the threat of one of them getting hot from three-point range affects the defensive game plan.
So it's Minnesota now. Sacramento getting their last shot to go. And it's Bol with the foul. That's his first foul of the game. And the fans love seeing incredible moments on defense like that block.
Yeah, what a play. I mean, that'll have the offense thinking twice about taking shots in his presence.
Kings trail by 20. Achua with it. He's got 9.
There is an activity to... the way Precious Achua plays.
And they've stopped the action here. They're using their coach's challenge to see if they can get this foul overturned.
And even with the coach's challenge in place, we've seen so many of these video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look. So the officials...
The ruling on the floor stands.
And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
Hey fans, who wants a free t-shirt? Make some noise!
He's checked in for Pokashevsky.
All right, that was the Timberwolves dancers. Make some noise.
And he drops it first.
Yeah, guys, at 6'8", Precious Achua hits the boards with ferocity and with abandon. He brings tremendous energy to whatever team he's playing for.
Hits both from the stripe. The Timberwolves lead by 18. Joe with the ball. Checked by Murray. Kennard outside. From outside the arc. Fires in the triple.
Well, guys who are known as shooters. Always ready on the catch. Luke Kennard, rise and fire.
And Van Vliet has got the ball here for Sacramento. Pass to Pritchard. And he lobs it up top. Achua with the dunk.
Well, with a little style is the vertical threat that is Precious Achua. That's a precious finish.
Here's Dillingham. Hauled in by the Kings. Murray's got 7 rebounds in the game.